All artwork created in this video is copyright LeilaniJoy. Artwork may not be reproduced without the written consent of the artist. All rights reserved.
Hey there, all my Art Nouveaugers, and welcome to a brand new episode of Art Nouveau with your host, LeilaniJoy. This is my video art blog where I document my creative process and give you guys some tips and tricks along the way. Now on today's episode, I'll be sharing with you guys a commission piece I've been working on for a very special client of mine named Betty. Hello Betty and family, I want to say hi to you. I hope you enjoy the process of your commission. And because of that, I decided that this would be a great opportunity for me to share with you guys a little bit more in depth about my commission process and how that works. And so I've decided to create a new blog post on artnouveau.com where you can find a template of my contract, all the steps that I use from thumbnails to color examples and into the final process, and kind of how to work back and forth with a client, because it's very important if you want to be a professional artist and work with someone else. Keep in mind that all artists like to work a little bit different as far as commissions go, so some of the things in my contract might not apply to you, or you may want to add some things that you feel are really important. But I thought that'd be really helpful for you guys because I get a lot of you asking me, well, I have my first commission, but I want to protect myself and I have no idea where to start. And contracts are vital, you guys. Don't do any work without a contract, okay? Because you don't want someone to take advantage of you and your time and especially your artwork. So please jump over to artnouveau.com. I'll put a link right to the blog post so you can go check out more information after this video. So with that said, let's get started on this piece for Betty. She had some really great concepts for me to work from. She's a big fan of hummingbirds and butterflies and sort of the energy that they have. So that was really exciting for me since I haven't really done anything with hummingbirds, and I love birds and they're in a lot of my pieces. So I'm going to show you guys the thumbnail process that Betty and I went through and sort of what we decided to do and a little bit of reference, and then we'll start this piece. So once you've worked out the terms of your contract with your client, next you're going to start on some thumbnail sketches. So get some ideas from your client, even some photo reference if they have it, and then do some sketches. Mine are really rough, as you can see. They're just kind of quick gestures to get sort of an idea. Then I showed these to my client and we went over them together, and we decided to actually do a combination of the first and last thumbnail. She really liked the concept of the cage in the first one and the way the hair is sort of breaking up into these butterfly sort of silhouettes in the last one, which I actually love the combination of both, so that gives me a good point to start doing some research. So next I'm going to grab some photo reference of some hummingbirds and butterflies, and then I'm going to get to work on my final sketch. So since the composition of this piece is so symmetrical and her face is really a dead center focal point, I really want her face to be very symmetrical as well. So I'm going to use a little cheat here by tracing one eye I've already drawn, flipping it over and doing a rubbing on the back to transfer the original eye to the other side. Then you'll see my eyes come out nice and even. Now the next stage of a commission is the color comp or color sample stage, where you may want to experiment with some different color palettes to show your client and let them give you some input and choose which one they like best. I really recommend doing this stage because it gives you a good jumping off point if you're going to do a traditional painting. Now I do my color comps using Photoshop, but you can also use traditional medium, gouache, watercolor, color pencil, or even markers to give your client a good idea of colors. For this piece, we decided on this lovely lavender color scheme with different cool colored butterflies. So I'm really excited to dive in and get some paint on my board. Okay, you guys, well my drawing is finished now, and while I wait for my board to dry with my gradient layer, I'm going to share with you guys a little insider's trick about transferring a smaller drawing onto a large canvas or board, as I'm going to do. And I'm pretty sure that other artists probably use this technique. I feel like I kind of made it up, but I'm sure other people do it, and they probably don't even want me sharing this secret with you, but it works pretty well and saves you a lot of time. So what I've done is I've scanned this drawing in my scanner, and what I'm going to do here is actually I resized the image to fit on 11 by 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. That's going to equal the size of my board. And you'll see what I mean by this. It's a little bit confusing, but basically I'm making an enlargement of the smaller drawing, which is 11 by 14. And if you don't have Photoshop or some sort of image manipulation software, you can probably do this at Kinko's or like a place that makes copies. Just have them enlarge your drawing on a large sheet of paper to the size that you're going to use your canvas or you're going to work on. So then what I'm going to do is go ahead and print out my drawing in 4 different sections, as you can see here, and then I'm just going to tape it together, then actually use my Sorol transfer paper underneath the enlarged drawing to transfer it to my board. So you'll see how this works when I show you, but it's a really great way to, if you're used to drawing a little bit smaller like I am, I didn't actually draw my drawing the size of my board. So this is a really quick technique you can do to transfer a smaller drawing. So feel free to use that and share it with your friends. I'm sure artists are going to get mad that I'm giving away these secrets, but the truth is there are some time-saving techniques that you can use and you can be a more efficient artist. So go ahead and give that a try.
Now, one of my favorite things about creating art are those creative ideas that just sort of come to you without pre-planning them. And the other night I was just laying in bed thinking about this piece and just feeling like it just needed one other element, and I thought it would be really nice to have this sort of ornate garden gate in silhouette as a very graphic shape behind my character. Now with my background layer completed, I'm ready to transfer my drawing to my painting surface. So I've got my enlarged drawing, which is 4 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper all taped together that I printed off. I have Sorol underneath, and I went ahead and transferred it to my board. Now in my rush to transfer my drawing, I ended up making a huge mistake and finding that my drawing was completely off center. I had to painstakingly try to match my background color paint to erase the drawing because Sorol doesn't come off that easily, unfortunately. And I was just heartbroken, and I had pretty much a panic attack for about a day. Then I went back at it and decided to be extremely careful on my next transfer and make some guidelines on my background layer and make sure my drawing was lined up perfectly before I transferred it a second time. Now, learning from my earlier mistake, I want to share with you guys a little tip that I should have followed myself, is you can get these great little plastic containers with these little lids on them at the art store, and any paint that you mix, any colors that you mix for backgrounds or any large areas, store some of this color in these little plastic containers for the duration of your painting. That way, if you make an error, if you need to fill in an area, you don't have to mix that color again. It'll save you a lot of pain and suffering, and I certainly would have benefited from this myself earlier. Here I'm using a flexible ruler or a bendable ruler, which is kind of a nice tool for creating some organic curves. I really find it useful since I'm not very good at doing them freehand.
Okay, you guys, well, my commission piece for Betty is almost finished now, and before I show you how it came out, I just want to tell you a few quick things. First of all, is I have a huge back-to-school sale going on right now in my Etsy shop, so if you need some swag for your dorm room, locker, a keychain for your backpack, or all kinds of other good Leilani Joy stuff, please check me out on Etsy right here, and when you spend $50, you get 20% off your entire purchase. So just use the code BACKTOSCHOOL when you spend $50, and you'll receive 20% off your whole order. And also, I want to remind you guys again to check me out on artnouvogue.com for more tips, tricks, tutorials, and art information. And as always, to check out my frequently asked questions page if you have a question for me. I realize I have like 5,000 networks, and I get questions on Tumblr, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and I'm just like, you guys, I'm really sorry if I just don't get back to all of you guys, but a lot of my questions are frequently asked. You can find it by visiting LeilaniJoy.com and just click on FAQs on the left side of your screen right there, and I will continue to update it with lots of questions that I get from you guys, and hopefully you'll find an answer. Okay, now without further ado, let's check out how this piece came out. Hey you guys, before I get out of here, I just wanted to show you Litonya live and in person before she gets sent off to her new home. And honestly, I'm a little bit sad to see this piece go. I've become really attached to it, and it's one of my favorites that I've ever done. But I will rest easier knowing that she's going to a really good home with you, Betty, and I hope you enjoy her as much as I enjoyed creating her. For those of you who aren't able to own this original painting, obviously, I will have very limited edition canvas reproductions available. Each canvas reproduction is hand embellished by me in acrylic paint, making them one of a kind, and I will only have 10 available, so only 10 reproductions of this painting will ever be made. So if you would like to get your hands on one, please email me at sales@LeilaniJoy.com, and I can let you know what sizes I have available, and I also have framing available. You can also find them listed in my Etsy shop, and since I have this awesome back-to-school sale going on right now, that might be a great time to grab a reproduction of this piece. Also, if you're interested in commissioning me yourself, you can find more information about my commissions on LeilaniJoy.com/commissions. And I have all my rates and sort of how my process works right there. If you have additional questions about commissions, feel free to email me at sales@LeilaniJoy.com, and we'll get all those questions answered for you and possibly work together on a piece, which would be exciting, right? Alright, you guys, well that's it for me, and I hope I see you on the next episode very soon. Hopefully sooner than this one took me. Sorry, guys. It was a complicated piece, right? I mean, this took me a while. Alright, well, I will see you guys later, and peace out.